What up, Skate? Welcome to Bar Vibes with Bryce the Fourth, giving out raw reactions and interacting with the masses. No subject is safe. You hear the people and the noises, but that's the point, because without the people, what is the point? Embracing vibrations. First and foremost, I may be the first person in history outside of the Allen Iverson incident to be injured at a bowling alley, and the injury has absolutely nothing to do with actually bowling. My homie headbutted the shit out of me while we were celebrating, and my left eye is swollen, and it's actually bleeding, but I'm Gucci. Just had to make sure y'all didn't think somebody didn't piece me up, because that ain't never happening. Try me. And I'm also just too dark to have a black eye, which actually I think I do, but I always have I've had a black eye since I was born, 1989. But anyway, but yeah, injury is ridiculous. Also, I voted today. Look at that. But anyhow, you know where we got to start. Go Eagles. I know people are saying, oh my God, that was a close game. You should have blown them out. Listen, if you're in the NFL, the mindset going into the game is you should always never take a team for granted, because in the great words of my pops, sang by Jamie Foxx, bars, on any given Sunday. And the Birds continue to just remain undefeated. They made the plays when the plays needed to be made, if that makes any sense to you. That wasn't anything weird. They still haven't come out of halftime with a deficit, and then to go into the second half, taking care of business, doing what they do best, is a testament to the coaching and also discipline from the players. Missing Jordan Davis really fucked us up, because the Dameon Pierce was going off. Kudos to him. He's my my offensive player rookie of the year so far. He had a fucking day. Davis Mills flashed a bit in the first half, but the defense shaped up and they put in that work. Jalen Hurts continues to show that he has improved, and yes, he did have a turnover, but no quarterback is going to have, 0 turnovers in a season. It's just not how football works. There isn't much more to say other than that. You keep leaving the best fucking receiver on our team wide open, and that's why his name is AJ1K, always fucking open, because he is. And all I gotta say is, let's go Birds. Jets Bills. The game started off like shit. The kicker slipped in the beginning, and I was like, okay, this is the day that we're gonna have. All right. Josh Allen He didn't look good. He looked terrible. He even said it. He was like, I look like shit. And it's a rare game where you can say, like, one player, ruined the game for you. But no, he played like shit. He was a lot of overthrows. He was trying to rely on his athleticism instead of like standing on his platforms, throwing off his back legs and throwing, running to the left and overthrowing receivers. He knew that he wasn't having his best game. Jets defense won them that game. Zach Wilson didn't even have 200 yards. He basically tried to play mistake-free, and being a game manager, I get that works, but that's not what you want out of a long-term quarterback. But they won the game. Sauce Gardner is the real fucking deal, yo. He is out there just shutting down receivers. It's a thing, like, if you watch football and you're like, all right, well, they only threw his way 2 times. Yeah, that's for a reason, because they can't. Kudos to Robert Salah for going for it on 4th downs. I think that was the big difference in this game. And Jets came out, beat the Bills. You just gotta go into the locker room at the end of the game and be like, we gotta fix it. And it's not even that much to fix. It's just be better. Chiefs Titans. The Titans began with a great formula: press the run, sack the quarterback. Sounds very simple, but if you're not doing it consistently, it's not. Mahomes missed some very easy throws early on, and he seemed to be overdoing things. Like, he was trying to put the team on his back. And Andy, you gotta stop being so cute with these fucking play calls. Like, just keep it simple when you're winning. The Titans just fizzled out. It's very easy to do that when you're playing with a rookie quarterback who shouldn't even be in the game, and he's only in the game because your starting quarterback is hurt. And it's weird to say, like, oh, they miss Ryan Tannehill. No, they do miss Ryan Tannehill. That scramble by Mahomes for the 20-yard run, I think, honestly changed game. The light was just a little too bright for Malik. And then, kudos for him to keep them in the game and send it to overtime. But he also didn't throw to any of his receivers. I think he was just in the mindset of like, I can do it on my own. You can't, bro. This is the NFL. The A.J. Brown tweet was... That's crazy. When he tweeted, nobody's open. And then the meme, the man's got a point. He's got more yards by himself than the entire Titans receiving core with less catches. Think about that. Chiefs got it done. Cardinals, Seahawks. Geno Smith continues his fucking revenge tour on the entire league. He didn't have a big day from the run game, but the players made the plays when they needed them the most. It was a back and forth lead change the entire game. And my biggest takeaway was both teams' pass rush was awesome. And I would say Kyler is the perfect size so that when the pocket collapses, he can just literally sneak under in the middle and then make a decision. Terrible pick six. And the Seahawks could have squandered this game with the Cardinals pick six. And they lead the league in most defensive touchdowns, I believe, with most picks with 5 for touchdowns. A lot of third downs for the Cardinals, but once the Seahawks got up 2 touchdowns, it was a wrap. Also, D-Hop, I told you, not washed. This wasn't on him. It was just it's a good game by the Seahawks, and here they are sitting at the top of their division. Nobody predicted it. I don't give a shit who you may be. You did not predict the Seahawks will be in this position, and they're giving Geno Smith some MVP talks. I can't say that he shouldn't be there. Vikings and the Manders, and yes, I'm calling them the Manders. Kirk Cousins wants you to stop playing with his fucking name. I want you to know that right now. Stop playing with Kirk Cousins' name. That man was on a plane with the chains, bars, just living his fucking best life because he's saying, I can get this done now. The thing is, he's done this before where the Vikings look good early on and then they just crumble. And I'm not going to say that they're going to crumble. It's a long season. But being 7-1 with the second best record in the league, it's kind of hard to say that. Justin Jefferson's still top 3 in the league. I will give him that. Gritty and all over the goddamn place. The one catch he had over his shoulders, that was fire. Vikings have only lost 1 game. The Commanders could have won this game, but Tyler Heineke is so reckless. And even Terry McLaurin said he plays like every game is his last game. You might want to fix that. You might want to tell him, like, hey, you don't need to make this play. Like, you don't need to scramble and turn and look and throw and blah, blah, blah. You don't need to do that. Go into the game, make the plays that need to be made. And, yeah, you can take your shots, but that's okay. At some point, the Vikings need some credit. It's very tough for the Manders to move forward, figuring out what their quarterback situation is, especially when you go out and trade for a Carson Wentz and then Taylor Heineke is in. What do? I don't know. But Vikings sitting firmly at numero uno. We'll get back to that later. Bears, Dolphins. Justin Fields, in a short period of time, has learned how to put the team on his motherfucking back. The coaching staff is learning to play to his strengths while he can, like while he's a young guy, while he can run, while he can do these things. The pocket passing will come in time. But at this time, let that man run. That was like 62, 72-yard run. That was fire. And he had the most rushing yards in a game by a QB ever. Mike Vick didn't do it. Cam Newton didn't do it. Randy Cunningham did it. Justin Fields did it. I think that the non-call on Chase Claypool on the pass, that was fucked up. The referee's got to fix that. That was a clear pass interference. He grabbed the man around the waist and pulled him backwards and pulled him down. That's a pass interference all day, PI. They called Tua Tagovailoa a system quarterback, and yeah, okay, you can call him a system quarterback, but he is working the fuck out of this system. Well-oiled the goddamn machine. And he's undefeated when he finishes the game. What else could you ask for? The biggest thing out of this game for me, Tyreek Hill has 1,100 yards in the middle of the motherfucking season. 1,100 yards in the middle of the season. And then his counterpart, Waddle, is on pace for over 1,300. So that means that two players would have 3,500 yards. Just two people. I mean, if the system is working, it's fucking working. Give the Dolphins credit for battling through these QB issues after Tua got hurt with the concussion, because they're still winning games. What can you say? A win is a win, right? Packers Lions. Aaron Rodgers. He had 3 horrendous picks. 2 of them within the 5-yard line. Run the fucking football. One of them, I think it was tipped, but the other one, when he was throwing it to his lineman on a trick play, it wasn't even anywhere near him. This man does not want to play there. They gave him money. He was like, fuck it, I'll stay. You took away my best receiver, but, you give me this much money. Why would you not stay? I'm Aaron Rodgers. I'll stay. I'm back-to-back MVP. I'll stay. Still a piece of shit. But, I mean, they can't get it done. The Lions give up the most points in all of the land, and they only got 9 fucking points. That is saying something about your like how you want to win. Like, do you want to win? Like, do you want to give that extra effort to get a dub? Clearly they don't. Clearly Aaron Rodgers is not like helping them out, giving them confidence. He just doesn't want to be there, man. I've been saying it for weeks. Give the Lions credit. I picked them. I picked them. So, hey. And when you beat a divisional opponent, you can see that the Lions players are trying to make sure that their coach comes back next year, because they can build on this. You beat a divisional opponent, you can build. Bob the Builder. Panthers, Bengals. Joe Mixon, have a day, my boy. He had 4 first-half touchdowns, 5 total. Fantasy owners across the fucking world were like, is this really happening? They could have won the game with just him in. Rejoicing. Then PJ fucking Walker, the man had more attempts passing than he did yards. 10 attempts, 9 yards. That is a ridiculous statistic. This was a game where Mixon and the offense took the pressure off of Joe Burrow and was like, "We got you today, bro. Like, don't worry, we'll get it done for you." They took care of business, and it's a game where you go into it like, this team is not as good as us. We need to show them who is the boss. No Tony Danza. I got distracted. Don't listen to that. But no, the Bengals, they got it done, and they did what they needed to do. I kept looking up at the scoreboard. I was like, what the fuck? Why is it? It's 35-0. But that's what you're supposed to do to an inferior opponent. That's how you get it done. Rams, Bucks. This is a very mediocre game for one that looked so fire on paper. I'm like, oh yeah, Rams, Bucks. This is about to be crazy. But Matt Stafford just doesn't look like the Matt Stafford that he was when they won the Super Bowl. And I mean, it happens. Like, Super Bowl hangovers are a thing, but the Rams just don't look good at all. I'm going to say this. People are going to look at this game and they're going to back like, Tom Brady pulled out a win against the defending champs. First of all, this man had 10 straight drives with 0 scores. None. The Rams did everything they possibly could to give this game back to Tom Brady. Like, I wonder if he is going to use part of his divorce settlement to just be like, thank you for the win, Rams. Because they should not have won this game. The only drive he had in the second half was the last one where they won the game. They had no business winning this game, the Bucs. I was very surprised that Cooper Kupp slid on the play instead of going for the first down, because then they could have ran the clock, which is weird, and they're going to see this tape, and I know he's going to be like, damn, I should have just... It was 2 yards away from the sticks. Again, this is the kind of game they're going to be like, Tom Brady, look at Tom Brady. He's winning these games. I cannot believe that they're first in the fucking division. It's weird. It's frustrating because, again, on paper, should have been a fire game. Pats, Colts. very one-sided game. Obviously, it was 26-3. And Indy might just have to lay down again. I will get to that later. Mac Jones didn't win this game. He was actually very, 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 very bad. But they had short fields. They had a pick six, and they also had a punt block where he had it on the 2. That's light work. Anybody can get that done. And he may not have any more games like this. So Patriots might want to take a look in the mirror and be like, gotta be better. Good quarterbacks take over games. They don't manage them. They take over games, and they make sure that no matter what's happening, we're going to win the game. That's not what this was. The defense was just all over the place. Colts, yeah, they're playing Sam Ellinger, and they also knew if they weren't going to win this game, their coach is out of here, which he absolutely is. Get to that again. They might want to put in Nick Foles, and I'm not saying that for bias of any way, but with the situation they have now with their coach, Sam Ellinger may not be the right choice to go into next week, especially because they're 3-5-1 in a shitty ass defense or division. Might want to reevaluate that, but again, one of those games where every facet of the game, special teams, defense, play well. The quarterback didn't play well, but the other team was just shittier. That's pretty much it. Chargers, Falcons. I don't know if Justin Herbert is still hurt, but there is something not being said with his play just being so bad or just mind-blowing how I think it's they boosted him up so much because the man doesn't have a career winning record. Look it up. He's 20-20. So what is it that is holding the Chargers back from being good? Yeah, they're injured. Everybody is injured. That is a part of football. I asked about Mariota possibly being the guy next year, but he just can't throw the rock, and I guess it's a testament to the fact that they don't have any receivers. They only have Kyle Pitts. They got rid of Calvin Ridley, and they're just not. Falcons fans are not used to seeing this because when they had Matty Ice and Julio, just slinging a rock all over the place, and that's not what they are anymore. Cordero Patterson, he came back. He kept them in the game with the 2 touchdowns, but the Chargers were just. I mean, I could say it, and I could say it, I could say it. They were just a better team that day, or the other day. Austin Eckler, he didn't have a mind-blazing game, but the 2 touchdowns helped. And the lack of receivers for the Falcons are going to come to bite them in the ass. If they're still tied for first place with the Bucks, they should have made a move at the trade deadline. They didn't. I feel like they're relying on their run game, and I think they're gonna let Tom Brady get it again, and this is gonna be hilarious because they had a strong hold, and they're just fumbling the bag. Jags, Raiders. Oh look, the Raiders blew another big ass fucking lead, especially to another inferior team. They blew another 17-point fucking lead. Derek Carr, he's just not clutch. He really just not. At this point in the season, he's not. 5 tries, 5 fucking drives, and he could not score any fucking points. Again. Turns out that Travis Etienne is actually a pretty good player. Urban Meyer could have just blew this team up. And Dougie P, Super Bowl winner, came in and made sure that they got the basics down and that, hey, we can run the ball with this guy. They got rid of Robinson, and they were like, no, because we have another guy behind him who played for a very, very, very good team in college. We drafted him in the first round for a reason. Run that man. That doesn't give any excuse to the Raiders squandering this fucking win. They were up. If the Raiders lose to the Colts next week, we'll talk about that in a second again. Saints-Ravens, last game. It's pretty simple. This game wasn't anything special. The Ravens jumped on the Saints very early, and there was no chance for them to get back in the game. Without Kamara having a game that he normally has, it just wasn't going to happen. Andy Dalton, he's a good guy, and he's still just a guy. But with Lamar having less than 150 passing yards, they still got it done because they held on to the lead, which is not something that the Ravens normally do. Kudos to them. Kenyon Drake had 2 tutties. He didn't have a really good productive running game. I think he had just under 4 yards to carry, but that doesn't matter. The Ravens are just better. And then when you don't let them back in the game, it They got a late touchdown. I don't know what the fuck they were doing when they let the fucking receiver they thought he was out. You don't quit on plays. And that was a big thing for me. But anyway, they still got Justin Tucker. They still got Lamar Jackson. They win the game. And it was, honestly, I had no other takeaways from that because it was that simple of a game. Christian Olave, you fucking fuck. I lost my fucking third fantasy game this year by 2 points. You can't get a touchdown from me, my boy. Come on, man. Hate to see it. Elephant in the room. I'm fighting Phils. Didn't find a way to get it done, and it's okay. I know it's loser talk, but we weren't even supposed to be anywhere near the World Series, and this ride was better than King Dakar. And if you know, you know. I know they aren't super young, but I'm very much looking forward to next year. They're keeping around some good pitchers. They're keeping around the bats. Like I said, like we weren't even supposed to be there. I was excited every week, just wondering, like, is this the end? This is the end. This is the end. And it wasn't the end. We got 2 fucking losses off the Astros, the only 2 that they lost the entire postseason. So I'll give them their flowers. Liverpool's back on their winning thing. Something like, I'm not even going to talk about that because it's nothing big. World Cup's coming up. So big ups to the first state. Stay focused and be great. Take a sip. Much love from the kid. Enjoy your day. Enjoy life. Stay chill. Also, people need to learn how to turn on their fucking signals when you're driving. Losers. People like to cross the street and know when they can cross the street or can turn. It's ridiculous. Makes the world a lot better when you know you're safe. BWBIV.com. Talk about it.